Alright, send it. We're here with Celes, Rune Knight, 4-mana 4/4. When it enters, discard any number of cards, and then draw that many +1, which is like Valakut Awakening, essentially. Except they don't go to the bottom. Whenever one or more creatures you control enter, if one of them entered from a graveyard or was cast from a graveyard, you put counters on each creature. So that side of it is a little different. I'm not really worried about the bottom half of this card's text box really at all. And I'm sure there are ways to get that to work, right? The curve is a lot lower. You're playing the skeletons and reassembling skeletons. You know, you're just going wide with things that are coming out of the graveyard. Kind of like the last commander we played, Sephiroth, except you have red, which gives you a lot more opportunities to put stuff in the graveyard that are worth pulling out. But that's not what we're doing today. I'm going to play it a little bit like Kroxa and Kunaros. I'm going to call it Mardu Kroxa. Where I just play this as quickly as possible, ideally on turn 3 with a mana rock, discard giant scary stuff, and then just reanimate it with a ton of reanimate spells. There's so many reanimate spells, and honestly, so many big creatures. I'm not terribly concerned about fizzling the first time this happens, but if you do, it's kind of sad, right? The whole point of reanimating things is to do it quickly. This does arguably do it faster. Well, yeah, faster than this does, if that was in your command zone. So that makes this interesting. Ephemerate. You could flicker this, protect something large, flicker something like Renzo or Crab. Ephemerate seems really nice here. Discard spells, maybe the one thing I would like to run if I find ways to make room for it, but we'll see. Sacrifice, just to sack this, doesn't feel too great, but sometimes you just draw another large thing, and we don't care about this at all. So sacking, it's pretty, like, whatever, and then I could cast something big out of hand, so it's interesting in that way. Protection, creatures, giver runes, makes sense to me. Sneak attack, makes sense to me as well. Liliana the Veil could randomly make your opponent mills or discard something that you then reanimate. I'm actually not sure how many of these target your opponent's graveyard anyways. Probably not a lot. Yeah. Turn 1, this with Dark Ritual is nice. Is it better than Black Market Connections? I don't think so, honestly. I think I would rather have Black Market. I don't really feel like I have to discard my own cards, because that's kind of what our commander's doing, right? That's kind of the whole point. And same with the idea of Faithless Looting. It's like, I kind of already have this, right? Faithless Looting still leads to early games where you just do the thing super quickly with stuff like Reanimate, and like specifically Reanimate. So I think that's quite worth it. Same with Gamble. You could just find whatever piece you're missing, Reanimate spell. You don't feel bad if it's on Burial Rites, because you can still cast it. If you discard the card you gambled for, you know, if you discard Faithless Looting, it's got flashbacks, so Gamble seems absolutely perfect. But, yeah, we don't care about the bottom part of this text box. So, it definitely has at least 2 different ways to play it, and we're going this way first, so we'll see what happens. I like Tifa. Alright, it's a mirror. I'm going to assume my opponent's probably not doing what I'm doing. This is fine. Is this fine? No. It is what it is. Is what it is. Alright, they're on the play, though. You can cast the Adventure side for free. I think I'm getting the same land they're getting. Alright, maybe it is a similar matchup. Let's just get Savitron. That way we're less viable to make mistakes in the future. Let's play the thing that can't die. Okay, they could have taken care of it. They didn't. Painful Truths? Whoa! Alright. I am heavily invested into what my opponent's been doing. That is really cool. Chromox, does that change anything? It does not. Alright, what are we doing? What are we doing with all this stuff? What do we got? Do we spin the hand? I imagine we spin the hand, right? Another game where I wish this was in my graveyard. But I think Gristlebrand is so good it doesn't matter. Oh wait, what is this? Silence! Okay, yeah. Yep, I got nothing. Let's play Fetch Land. Do I want to animate this and attack? That's fine. I don't care if it dies. I don't need it. Wait, what? Okay, they actually did kill it. A little strange to me. I feel like I would not do that, but, you know. Let's, do this. Yeah, I feel like I would not kill that. But alright. Especially with the tokens. Very strange. It's like, oh, I got your mana. It's like, I guess. They actually let me discard a card because of that, too. So if they have Reanimate, we do just lose the game. More or less. Chat, is this Mardu control? What is happening? Can someone explain to me what's happening? I don't understand. What is happening? So... Oh, I don't have to crack it. Okay. I mean, I'm gonna do this, so... I feel like this is a combo. Yeah, it's probably just Mardu control with a combo finisher. It's kind of the vibe I'm getting. There is nothing I can do about that except do my copy target instant sorcery. You may choose targets. Oh wait, no, this sacks my commander and then I can't do anything. Alright, yep. Yeah, this is a combo deck, which might just be able to pull it off before we're able to do what we want, but we'll see. Discard 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is really cool. We found the secret third way to play it. I will say it's probably still really hard to go for a single combo. Sure. This exiles everything. I will most assuredly draw more. Do I want to draw even more? Probably not. I lose access to my graveyard. Yeah, I don't want to do that again. It's probably just not a good idea. Okay, so let's play you. I can Buried Alive. Then I have 4 left, which doesn't let me cast anything, but I can cast Mausoleum Secrets for something maybe significant. So let's take out Platinum Angel, Grenzo, Abyssin. And then let's cast Chrome Mox, get rid of Flare, because Flare doesn't look like it's going to be useful. Although I could Flare a piece of some combo my opponent might have. Valgavoth is not relevant. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Let's get rid of Chain to the Rocks. Yeah. And there's no real incentive to cast Reanimate. Oh, there kind of is. No, there isn't. Not against this deck in this instant. Oh, I could Reanimate Grenzo, though. We should probably try to Reanimate Grenzo. I think that's a good idea. Yeah. This could cost me the game. Just losing that too much life. But I want to try to stop a combo piece. Okay, I didn't get there. Didn't hit it. Let's get rid of you, you, you. No, not you, because you're my only land. Let's get rid of that. Okay. Still looking for a combo piece. Grand Abolisher could actually be really significant. That could be very significant. Let's cast Gamble. Do I flare it? No, I don't think I do. Let's get Grief. Maybe I don't discard it. I didn't. Let's cast Grief. Okay, there's a piece of the combo. Do I win? Not sure what they can do. Can they reanimate it? They might not be able to reanimate it. We have seen no reanimate spells, so they might not be trying to reanimate it. Toxic Deluge for 4. There is nothing I can do. I don't believe I should swords myself. I'm not going to do that. Yeah, I could also swords it, but they're not going to go for a combo unless they have a way to protect it and sack it in response or something. I could copy this, but I don't want to, because I want to leave up interaction. Elish Nord is funny. Yeah, let's just go for Grenzel again. Disrupting them and getting value is just nuts, and it's also lethal anyways. Excuse me. Alright. It's lethal, and there's currently no card in hand that stops it, so... They could tutor up Lightning Bolt. I would assume they have Lightning Bolt in their deck, and maybe they don't. They didn't go for it right there. Alright. Yeah, Valgavoth also stops the graveyard, that's true. I will untap. No. I can afford to present lethal. Can I redirect that? No, right? Okay. Not sure what they were gonna do long term without a combo, but I'm sure they can still win. I'm sure it's like in the works somehow. So let's get Valgavoth now. We could get Avacyn because Swords was just cast and Path is in our possession, and they have enough treasures. Yeah, we should probably get Avacyn. Could have copied it, but again, I don't think I have to copy it. I could have copied it, though, I know. I'd rather copy something that wins the game. From my opponent, I think an indestructible 8/8 is safe enough. But who knows? I'd rather copy something that blows me out. That is not it. If they have an exile effect, they will now cast it. They found another answer to my stuff. Fascinating. Okay. There is nothing I can do about that. Let's get rid of this Broodlord, because I probably have to. Do I want to path my own Avacyn? No, that doesn't do anything. Can I deal with that enchantment? I don't think so. Okay. unfortunate. We can leave up... Let's see, we have red, red. Yeah, we can leave up Flare without losing our commander. Cityscape Leveler is actually really good. It's not as bad as I thought. Target player reveals their hand, you may choose a non-land card from it. Okay, there is plenty of reasons to actually copy this card, so I'm going to copy the card. Dismember, Damnation, a Tutor. Let's get rid of the Damnation. They can survive Cityscape Leveler, but they could survive anyways with a 1/1 blocker. Yeah, the Dismember shrinks it. There's nothing I can do about that. Cityscape Leveler, if they did discard it, it would have haste, which I imagine is a problem. So the Goblin's gone, which is why I didn't take the Recruiter. Alright, they found another thing to do with their commander. Alright, they found a Reanimate spell, so they're back to it. But they still have no thing to do with sacking it. Like, there's nothing to do with it. I can force out Dismember by casting this on the thing, but casting it on Avacyn is vastly superior. Let's start here, though. Does that do anything? If it was Massacre Worm, it would, but currently, no, it doesn't do anything. So, what can I persist that matters? Elishnorn? Elishnorn does shut them down, doesn't it? Same with Platinum Angel. Oh, is that better, though? Oh, I don't know, chat. Is that better than getting Avacyn? I feel like persisting something that makes me not lose the game to a combo is a good idea. Elishnorn is a solid option. They have Dismember, though. They have Dismember. I can't kill them this turn cycle. I think I should persist Elishnorn, because it stops these things, right? Because the counter is in response to itself. Yeah. We're going to get Elishnorn. Oh, wait, it's a legendary, chat. I'm an idiot. So we have to get Platinum Angel. We have to get Platinum Angel. No, but then we die to a combo. Ah! If I grief this, they don't have a combo piece. Okay, the fact that Platinum Angel doesn't feel reliable, I'm just going to put this into play. I am forcing my opponent to have an out. You have to have a combo thing. You have to. Your commander costs a bajillion zillion. You have to have remaining mana. Like, they just ended up pitching it anyways, so looks like we made the right idea. Yes! Oh, get wrecked. Oh. Get schmeeded. Good game. That was a good game. I don't like cracking my fetch land, but I have to crack my fetch land, so. Opponent is struggling to understand when to crack the fetch land. I love it. I don't have a Reanimate spell. Maybe okay. I mean, that's the side of things that's not as bad, because I can wheel into one. There is a problem where I could just get completely hosed by counter spells, though. I feel like that's probably a pretty likely outcome. I don't think flinging all the way to Cavern Souls makes sense. There is a castable spell still, so they have Subtlety. I highly doubt it's Fury. Okay, opponent, come on. Come on. Oh, it's Chrome Box. Oh, alright, never mind. Never mind. That was Subtlety. So, pretty likely to have a counter spell, but I can't not do anything. I still have to play the game. I can try again later. It's not like I just lose on the spot. Let's put this to the top of the deck. And if they make me shuffle somehow, congratulations. But I don't have mana to do to go again, so. Let's get Swamp. I would like a white source. I don't believe my opponent's deck is fast enough to, like, I don't think 2 life here is going to change anything. That just died so quickly. That just, boom. It just died. Alright. Is there Tail's End? What's going on? Chat, I'm confused. Well, that's a little tragic, actually. This is actually very tragic. No, it isn't tragic, because if they kill my commander, I can do it again. Okay. Still gonna play these, though. Although that's less cards to spin. I'm assuming my opponent kills my commander, which, I mean, I don't know. They've also had, like, the perfect sequence of blue-red lands. It doesn't matter, but they've had, like, boom, 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 boom. It's kind of funny. Alright, so they're just super interested in untapping with this, and as we know, just like having played it a bajillion times, that's not, productive. Yeah, we're gonna cast these. We're gonna cast these, we're also gonna play our land. Alright. Well, because my payoff card, I don't want to get killed. Like, if I put Gristlebrand in play, I don't want that to die. It's kind of the thing. I don't care about those. I think these are pretty good with stuff like, the VV3 turns in a row. Yep. VV3 turns in a row. That's funny. Holy lands. Alright. Do I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? I'm 1 off. I'm 1 off. That's so bad. Yeah. Well, you just cast it till it works, I guess. You just cast it till it works. Alright, well, not sure I can come out of this now. Opponent getting a turn with untapping with VV. I mean, I did my best. I killed it, what, three times? Twice? Which is probably more than I'm going to do on average. So, but if they don't win, I'm still capable of doing things. Okay, that doesn't... Oh, that does. It resets my mana. Okay. Okay. They didn't just win the game. That's pretty cool. I think. Sure. So they can do River's Rebuke again? Oh. Wait, what? Okay, so I'm definitely going to Swords that, right? Because there's no way I don't Swords that. And we'll put this on top again? Right? I have to Swords this. I mean, I'm just so threatened by it. I think I can put it to the command zone. Yeah, we can just put it to the command zone. I think that's okay. They now need a land. They now need a land. They did have one, but it's tapped. Okay. I mean, it's kind of crazy that they've done it as much times as they have. Alright, that's a really good hit. Zatalpa is indestructible, but Valgavoth is just so annoying to deal with. So they need to have a counterspell. I'm going for Valgavoth. I think Cityscape Leveler might just be slightly better, but Valgavoth is something I don't get to play and play too often. Cityscape is probably better, though. Alright, there's another land, so we have one untapped. And my opponent's not dead to a single attack, which is sad. Sure. Does that do anything for us? Oh, hey, we did it. Alright, we killed Vivi literally 4 times. It's funny that they probably take the Mirror Convert. Yep. It's kind of funny. It's like, look at this hand, and they just take that. Entomb? What Entomb effects are there? Just buried alive? I'm sure there's a way to put buried alive in this deck. I would not doubt it. Do I discard Unburial Rites? I don't think I do. I don't think I do. Yeah, okay. I think I'm keeping my Prismatic Vista, because looking for a land is about the same as just, like, I might as well just keep it in case I don't hit a land. Well, okay. That's not what I meant, game. Calm down. That is not what I meant. Is it only green? No, it's not only green. Alright, I get to completely annihilate my opponent here. And I think I will. So... I'm playing the Prismatic Vista, so my opponent doesn't know my hand. So, they only know this one now. I think that is valuable. This is not a blue deck, so that's interesting. Let's reanimate Grenzo? Yeah, we definitely do Grenzo. Grenzo seems really good here. Well, that's really good. That is really good. Alright, that was probably one of the best things I could have found. Killing Grenzo is also just a... feels bad. Oh, they have Abrupt Decay. Wow. Abrupt Decay, huh? Oh, in a world with, like... Tameo. Yeah, okay. I like it. Abrupt Decay. Well, I like that. That's pretty cool. Alright, they're done. Yeah. Grenzo doesn't need help. It doesn't... I don't think Grenzo needs any help. My entire... This is a nice part about getting flooded. My entire... hand is lands, and I can just completely get rid of it. You don't care about Final Fantasy, but you like the new cards? Yep, that's fair. I'm kind of the same. I'm excited for the Magic, or the Spider-Man set for Magic Online and Magic Arena, because it's not going to be Spider-Man themed. It's so dumb to me, but hey, it'll lead to really cool looking cards, I feel. Like whatever Magic version of Spider-Man is seems really dope. I'm excited to see that. It's like, we got it in the dumbest way possible, but we got it nonetheless. Alright, I'm gonna play a mountain. That's what I'm gonna do. That way I don't make any mistakes here when I pitch my other land. Let's go here, here, here. Well, Reanimate's pretty solid. I don't have to cast Reanimate. Alright, they're done. Look at that. Alchemy Spider-Man, yeah. We need a land. So, black, white. Okay, I found a land. Do I get Godless Shrine? I think I do get Godless Shrine. It would be nice to... I also get to block. It would be nice to have that. But this does kind of make it so I don't have my commander versus an evasive blocker. Why not? I don't have my commander, and that might just offset casting Giver of Runes in the first place. I don't know, we'll spin it. Looks like my opponent either has Solitude or Flare. Oh yeah, Flare. That's right, someone said Flare earlier, I forgot. Flare's probably fine. I don't think I lose if I don't find a land, but it's not looking great. I did find a land, and it works. It's a functioning land, so that is pretty significant. I do at least like the yeah, you know what? Actually, the red flare is kind of okay. I'm not gonna lie. The red flare is actually okay. Okay, I'm not gonna spin off both of these. But I could have. Just to guarantee I hit a land. But I mean, that's like 4 cards is probably enough. Almost didn't get there, actually. Almost didn't get there. Alright, can my opponent beat an 11 Valgavoth? That's an that's not unusual, never mind. Makes sense. We just sack it. Yeah, doubling the Reanimate is actually pretty nice. Yeah, I don't know if I own the red flare. About to find out. Alright, so this works out nicely. I don't care about my commander. I'll actually put it back to the command zone, because I'm not trying to reanimate that. Okay, there's a lot of stuff, but Valgavoth is, like, really annoying. So maybe we're fine. I think it's better than Gristlebrand here. I really do. Because I can't realistically pay for Gristlebrand. Look, I'm putting Valgavoth in play. I'm doing it. You can't stop me. I'm doing it. And there's no reason to Chrome Mox. I can't cast Faithless Looting regardless. I'd have to do it first. I'd have too few cheap creatures? I disagree with that. I think Flare is only relevant when I need it to be. I think we can easily run Flare in this. Having anything to sack to this is completely fine. I don't care if it's, whatever. It's like the only Flare card. I can also just hardcast it, but I think it's perfectly fine with this. No, that's not the concerning thing for me. Each player sacks 2 creatures. Alright, opponent's just riddled with perfect answers. I can do it again, but not sure where that gets me. Also, Gristlebrand would have actually been incorrect. Still would be probably incorrect, but at this point I'm just basically dead. I can actually hardcast Shieldred, but I don't think that would actually do anything. Okay, they didn't find an answer, and we drew Platinum Angel. I can't believe that. They didn't find another answer to a giant threat. Oh, they're on the play. They mulligan, so I assume they blitz for the thing. Okay, that's another way of looking at it. Found that, sure. Alright, they didn't get it, but I would assure you my opponent probably blitzed for a 1-mana ramp spell. Skrelv is actually pretty... No, not against red-green. No. Yeah, Eldritch Reborn... Well, we were talking about a deck from 8 years ago, but... You could put Eldritch Reborn in here. I don't think you should. But I am a fan of Eldritch Reborn. We could have played Skrelv right here. Could have just sent it. I don't know. I think against this, it's completely unnecessary. I'm losing a life either way. Might as well just get a mountain. Bloop. Alright. Let's get there. Let's do it. Go away, go away, go away. And I'll keep the land. My opponent did not cast Roxanne. I am a bit curious. You can't play Bojuka Bog. Interesting. This is very strange. Maybe... Oh, Arena of Glory giving it haste. Alright, less strange. Good old less strange. I love games where both players ignore each other. Alright, Avacyn is just very, very depressing. So let's put Avacyn in play. I don't think there's any card they can possibly have except Eldrazi. So, and then I'll put Shieldred in play, and it's up to them to beat those, which, hilariously enough, a green deck could just continue to ignore you and kill you all the same. Okay. I guess they don't know how Indestructible works? Feels good. Also, this has lifelink, by the way, so, yeah. Because of the lifelink counter. Oh, man. So, not only did they make a mistake, my opponent completely and entirely, single-handedly validated my take that green players ignore you so much that they don't even read your cards. That is all it is. If I had the combo in my deck, maybe it's not as bad. Maybe it's not as bad. Do I get rid of Dark Ritual? Probably. At this point, because I didn't Dark Ritual Grenzo or anything? Yeah. Okay, well that was pretty sad. That was incredibly sad. That's also very sad. Alright, so... Oh, I only have legendaries in the graveyard, chat. Persist isn't working. Well, this is just abysmal. Uh-oh. First I draw nothing. That's not good. Uh-oh. Chat, we're not getting there. We're not getting there. Probably should have Dark Ritual Grenzo. I'm not even sure what that would accomplish, but it would have been better than what is happening right now. I also can't recast my commander. I think I still play lands, though. There's a boatload of stuff in my... Okay, they let me draw. It actually worked out very nice for me. They take Persist. That does make sense. Yep, that makes sense. I draw literally nothing. Okay. Do we have the unblockable? It gets Menace. Okay, well, they gave me my commander again. I feel like that's maybe a bit of a mistake. They shouldn't let my commander die. I should just not kill it. Opponent wisely does. Tragic. So that's a card. I mean, we're in no position to play around anything at all, so... Grenzo or Gristlebrand? Probably Gristlebrand, right? Feels kind of wrong to not take that. Draw at least 7 on my turn. We're taking out lands? I don't think I want to take out more. Reanimating Grenzo is actually really, really, really nice. Okay. That is excellent. I think I'm taking... Yeah, we're taking the Liliana. We're taking it. I'm just gonna minus it. I can minus it twice. But we're gonna minus it at least once here. Excuse me, I'm gonna minus it initially and then plus later. The plus isn't really... I don't care about the plus. And I'm not gonna draw more because I'd probably just die. And I'm also not gonna swing because that's not relevant. Let's get rid of you and you. Actually, I can cast Platinum Angel. Maybe I keep that in hand. It's probably ideal. You could just cast that one. Which has a chance of just winning. Has a chance of just winning. No reason to draw more. They cannot swing. Oh, they do. Oh, right, it puts a counter on it, so you should swing. Should I block? I lose Grenzo, and then what am I doing? Just recasting it? Yeah, there's no reason to give my opponent access to 5 cards out of my deck. Grenzo's done enough. This is an instant. Does that change anything? Not really. Maybe I can now just start to swing, because this still hits me. Could just reanimate Ulamog. Not sure what to do here. Gristlebrand's not productive. I think I'm just taking Grenzo again. This is very difficult. Ujin doesn't kill my opponent. I just want Grenzo. I just want Grenzo to play. I feel like there's plenty of things I could potentially hit. Reanimate's one of them. Yep. Do I reanimate now? I am not sure. It is a lot of life to reanimate something right now. And that could be scary. But Ulamog is indestructible. Can I go to 1 and not feel stupid? Is this greedy? It is greedy. Is this ridiculous? Yeah. I don't care. You can't stop me. I'm going to 1. If this kills me, I'm not upset. Yeah, Valgavoth has lifelink, but Ulamog is great. Alright, you have to kill me probably this turn. That doesn't do it. That's what they drew, because I saw that on the heist thing. And we're dead. Alright, they got us. Yep. I would have died if I reanimated Valgavoth as well. To like an extremely fragile commander. It's kind of a lame hand to keep, but I don't know, every single time I played against this it has 1 drop. So, no surprise there. Do I kill it? Yep. Bask at my self-driving gameplay. Where nobody can make choices because someone's playing Tifa. Boy, I wonder what that's leaving up. I can't wait to find out. I'm so excited. Losing to Moxamber again, chat. A commander that dies instantly, but they have Moxamber, so it doesn't. You have no lands? Okay. That's confusing. It's very confusing. Guess I'll keep Dark Ritual. Okay. I mean, this game would be... actually, would just be over if they didn't have Mox Amber. I'm gonna cast my commander, I think, off of Dark Ritual. It's hard to tell what to do here. So 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 2 floating. We can ephemerate after. Leaving up removal doesn't seem continuously productive, so I'm gonna do that. There's no way this matters, right? There's just no way this card's ever going to matter in this game, so I'm gonna get rid of it. We found Reanimate, and that. I think I'm going to cast... There's nothing to reanimate, right? No. Giver of Runes doesn't do anything. Neither does this. Everything I can do here feels kind of lame, and I should just worry about Ephemerate. And I will. I think that's really the only relevant card in my hand, honestly. Alright. They must have just drawn that, because they didn't end step it. But this... Wait a minute, this taps them out. Yeah, we knew they just drew that, so there's no land in hand, and they can't swing. Oh my goodness. What is happening? Is this genius, or am I confused? I feel like I'm confused. I'll just take 8, and I can let my commander stay in the graveyard for Reanimate? Decline. They did not find a land. Yeah, that was weird. This entire game has been defined by Mox Amber, but still is odd. I think we can safely keep the sweeper and have it matter later. Who knows? Alright, well, we're that kind of gamer. Just have a bunch of removal. Do we draw a land now? It's funny, my opponent's hand's probably like 6 protection spells. Okay. That just straight up worked. Oh, right, Mox Amber's not... It can't tap for mana. Never mind. That's why it worked. They can't tap it for green. It was a bit... Get wrecked. Well, their entire strategy completely leaned on casting their commander early for 55 protection spells. And is so much so that, I mean, that's the power of this, right? You just kept a 2-lane hand because Mox Amber's just cracked. You can play this a turn faster. Alright, we're pretty Thoughtseize proof, which is really nice. Let's play that one. I'm not gonna cast Grief. Okay, now I might. No, my opponent's just gonna cast their commander next turn. I don't think I'm griefing anything. Okay, so I could bank on a top deck, but I think I'm better off not doing that. Alright, we wouldn't have gotten there. And I think I will now grief. Ashen Rider, not as exciting as Avison. Opponent's hand is nuts, so I just take this, right? We're interested in Avison, so we most assuredly just take that card, which feels kind of sad, but if I expect it to do something neat. They also just played a land I did not know about. You want to make sure you don't normally... You don't want to give your opponent information for no reason. I hope they play Mondrak here. Nah, they don't play Mondrak. It's probably always right to not play Mondrak, but I still wish they did. Alright, decline. Almost said take action there. That would have been really bad. Just keep that. That would have been really bad, actually, if I did that. Wait a minute, where's the other surveil land? Oh, I just couldn't find it off of that land? Okay. You need 1 mana? So they just need 1? Okay. Avacyn might struggle to deal with a bunch of tokens. I don't have Elish Norn. Not sure what this attack means, but okay. Feel like that doesn't make sense. But okay. It's what they did. So let's reanimate. Could just cast Grenzo. I feel as though I should probably put Indestructible Nonsense in play. Falgavoth just dies to a bajillion 2/2s being sacked. Well, yeah, let's just put this in play. If it works, it's like extremely backbreaking, and I did remove the shield, the Liliana. Let's just play into what I tried to do. Whenever you cast a spell, if no mana was spent to cast it. Alright, that's gotten us a couple times. No, it's gotten opponents a couple times, not us. They can swing and sack the one I block. Alright, they probably take Grenzo, which doesn't really work out because I can just reanimate. Oh, they have to take the Cruelty. Okay. That is not dead. That is in play. They can now not swing. Huge. Don't like giving my opponent information about what I drew, but I think it's reasonable to play a land. Yeah, it does counter Grenzo. This is true. Davriel's interesting. Can I cast it? No, wait. I have to cast that 4 mana, so I can't, yeah. I have to spend 4. None of these are great. Lingering Souls is interesting, though. That's also interesting. Hard casting Davriel and plussing it? I could just do a random deal. Can I cast this 4 mana? Does the game let me? I don't even know if it lets me do that. Let's just spin the wheel here. Creatures you control get larger. Oh wait, hold on. We gotta reanimate. Is it good? It is. Oh my goodness. No way. I've never done that Davriel ever. And we don't care about exiling, so... I have never reanimated something with Davriel. That's really cool. I think I'm swinging with it. I probably should. Is it 2-turn clock? No, it's not. It's not 2-turn clock. It's indestructible. It's not doing too much as a blocker. I would love them to sack creatures here. It's just less attackers. Either way, the Grenzo is doing what I want it to do. Yeah, it's better as an attacker. It gets rid of 2 counter-attackers. So does anyone know if I can cast this for mana? We're about to find out. We can! Hey, we can. So, oh wait a minute, my opponent gets it because it has flashback. Okay, that was probably really ugly. I gave him blockers. Oh, chat, oh my goodness. What have I done? What have I done? Actual shambles. I think I'm still perfectly fine, but that was funny. They also didn't cast the spirits before they did this, which is weird. Why didn't they just make the spirits? Yeah, the blowout's going back and forth, but I think we're still fine. They didn't make giant flyers. They could have just done that first. It's a bit of a mistake there. But I did technically give them an extra turn. I did give them extra turns. That was a mistake. Should not have cast that. What are they doing? What's happening? Oh, no! Oh. Yep. Davriel doing stuff. I don't think I need it to do that, but it is funny that I did that. So, Gristlebrand could do it, but it could also maybe not do it. I'm not gonna turn one Skrelv. Well, sure. Let's name Human, because it totally matters in this matchup. Get Blood Crypt, I think. Wish I had a second creature. Because I don't, I could get rid of Flare. Might just get rid of Flare. It depends if they... Do we have priority held here? Oh, we do not. It's probably safe to get rid of this. I'm just gonna get rid of it. I don't have a second creature, and it just didn't line up. That is just straight up Zergo. Alright. Let us... just win the game, maybe? Oh, we got Grenzo! Oh, we got Grenzo. Nice. That's a Ragavan. Let's just take the random 3/3, because it's castable. Alright. Favorite card in the Final Fantasy set so far? I don't know. That's a good question. I think when it comes to power and just like casting a really good card, yeah, I mean Grenzo's gonna solo you. If you don't deal with Grenzo, stealing free spells is just like this is. I didn't expect this commander to be this interesting. I'm not gonna lie. It's really cool. It's such a straightforward way to reanimate. You just cast it really quickly, or as fast as you can, ideally on 3, and then cast a reanimate spell, and then boom. So like this was really nice. This is nice. I will say that the 4-mana reanimate spells don't line up relevant unless you have no land, and then it's like rip. So I think all the 5-mana ones are essentially the same, unless you want to play around Mana Tithe and stuff. This Flare was really nice, though. The options this gave me was so good. Like, if my opponent kills my commander with a spell, that could just give me Flare, and then I can use the Flare to kill their commander or something. So, like, this was excellent. The other two are whatever. I guess the black one doesn't feel as good. Think you could try it. The white one, I don't like it at all, actually. The Selfless Savior stuff, Giver of Runes, I think are worth it. You can play them super early, ideally on turn 1. It's kind of the only big window. What game did we blunder heavy? It was the Cotus. It was Cotus. Yeah, we played against Cotus and just got the wrong creature. But I wanted to, alright? It was an emotional thing. But I think I would have won that. Yeah, there is a combo with this, but I don't think we have any reason to play it. Can't consistently get to all pieces. However, it's not impossible. If we run a ton of tutors in this list, it's probably possible to run a bunch of tutors, but then you are back to doing that big thing that is extremely difficult, is letting this live, right? That if your opponent recognizes it as part of a combo, they're not going to let you untap with it, right? Or they're not going to the best of their ability, they're going to not allow you to use this to kill your opponent. To kill them with a combo, right? There is a massive boon to not caring about your commander, and we saw that here. Like, when your commander can die, and it is totally fine, sometimes you let it stay in the graveyard. Sometimes it doesn't matter, but that allows you to do your strategy is so much more resilient when your commander dies. You're like, all right, it did what I needed it to, right? This is the difference between commanders that have an ETB and commanders that do not. What's odd about this one, what's kind of neat about it, is it just happens to have two abilities on it that do work with each other and also work alone. So you can have a deck that cares about the top one or the bottom one, or both. You could have a deck that's like Mardu mid-range, and you're playing skeletons and zombies and reanimating them with the 1-mana spells and the 2-mana spells and the 3-mana spells instead of all the 5-mana spells. Sweepers are a huge benefit of not caring when this dies, so you get away with those as well. We saw, a combo version of this with the Persist Goblin to, like, play this and then sack it to Goblin Bombardment over and over, and it keeps getting a counter. But again, expecting all of that to survive your opponent's grip is sometimes not ideal. I will say, Shieldred didn't really do anything. Wait, in the sense that they barely do anything when ETBing, and then they let you do stuff normally. Yeah, I guess. I mean, there's a lot of commanders that fall under that paradigm where you cast it and it's, oh, look what it's doing. I mean, that's what most people, when they talk about cards in Magic, especially a format where there's a starve the show card, doesn't matter what the commander is. This happens all the time. It's been well over the 8+ years I've been streaming. People are really gung-ho about talking about how awesome something is or how good something is when it's working, right? Like, oh, it's awesome when it's in play and you have things to reanimate and they're coming out of the graveyard and you're swinging with things with a bunch of counters on them. Yeah. You know what else is actually really great? What is it? Where are you? This guy's great, right? Awesome commander. You kill your opponent in 3 turns if you just play like 5-mana haste threats or something of the sort. It doesn't even have to be a 5-mana card, just something that's ideally evasive and also ideally has haste. So you can, use this. Like, oh, I have a haste enabler with an enchantment. This is in play. And I'm proceeding to now cast giant things after. And those things are not dying. Maybe narrative lives and my opponent just kills the giant haste threat and they just take 4 a turn, because that doesn't kill them very quickly, right? So it's like, oh, but this is good if it also has haste. It's like, so you start to snowball your logic as to why something's really good when everything is working out, right? But you have an opponent to play against. This isn't multiplayer where there's like someone wants you to do your thing on the left and then the other 2 don't want you to do your thing. So that person's like, oh, I want that person to be a threat, so I'm going to mess up that, and he's going to swing over there, and she's going to block. So it's 1v1. Your opponent is chock full of interaction and stuff like this. You don't have time to do stuff like this. You don't have time. Your opponent is not going to ignore you unless there's some kind of ramp thing, and then they'll just explode over the course of like 1 or 2 turns, and then everything you did up to that point, you put them to 5, and they don't care because they played Primeval Titan, made a bunch of mana, cast Ulamog, and it was over. So, you can certainly ignore your opponent and play Go Fish or whatever, and then, your opponent's probably more efficient at that if they're like a genuine strategy that can genuinely ignore them, like a ramp strategy. Whereas if you're trying to ignore your opponent by playing narrative and you just doing your thing, and if they impede your thing, you lose. It's like VV. There's a lot of people in there's so many, not a ton of them, but I got a lot of comments saying like, it's great when this happens, it's great when this happens, or when this happens. It's like, but it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. VV gets smashed by even simple 1-mana cards like Lightning Bolt. Like, you can't realistically play it when you're tapped out. It's just not that kind of commander, which is fine. But, yeah, it's just, when people are talking about a card and how strong or scary it is, they're usually describing a scenario where it's literally at its best. And most of the time, it's not going to be at its best. And that applies to basically every commander ever, not just the ones that are good in this, like, perfect scenario. Even the ones that are, like, just efficient in general. It's like, oh, Keenan's busted because you just untap with it and have 65 mana. It's like, not all the time. You know, sometimes you don't. Your opponent can just poke your mana dorks and then Keenan looks weird. Sithis, you just cast it and win. It's like, well, sometimes they kill it and then your enchantments don't do anything because they're like a, you know, some sort of creatureless deck and your O-rings are kind of bad. So even in the tier 1 bracket, it happens, right? So it's hard to, you know, pull people out of that lens and be like, all right, let's go to reality, like ground floor. How do we get there? How do we get narrative in play? How do we get haste going? How do we be evasive? How do we present consistent threats to justify the double damage? Like, you gotta get there. You can't just, like, play 5-mana 4/4 haste, expect everything to work out. So, it's just something that people say a lot. I know that's not much to do with this commander, but I will say this commander has multiple ways of playing it. I didn't really think of that, and after having played it and then played against the combo version, this will probably be something I want to play multiple times. Actually, I think I've said that a couple times already. Vivi's another one. I think there's a different way of playing it, but it still involves the same scenario of, you know, actually untapping with it to some meaningful degree. But so back to this deck specifically, Shieldred. As much as I love Shieldred, it's my first mythic, like, ever I owned. There's too many decks that don't care about the Edict side, and it's nice to have a Virtue of Persistence that you can reanimate, so it's like alongside your other reanimate targets. It's not like a 7-mana enchantment you have to get. It's like you can just cast this for 5 mana out of the graveyard, or even less with reanimate and whatnot. So I don't know if this effect is very good, which kind of makes me reevaluate Virtue of Persistence in general. Like, this is just a better version of it for this deck specifically, and I still don't like it. So I don't know if Virtue Persistence is as ideal as I think it is, but I haven't seen too much of it. A lot of people don't seem to be playing. It doesn't seem to be an auto include in a lot of people's deck, Virtue of Persistence. Void Winnower, also not really the most exciting. You can sometimes shut down your opponent, right? There's plenty of even mana commanders, assuming it's not in play already and whatnot. And you can just stop board wipes and 2-mana removal spells and even 2-mana counter spells if you somehow resolved, you know, the reanimate to get this in the first place. But I don't know if this is super necessary. I don't really care about the bottom part at all. It would have been nice to at least try to get this in play. I don't think we ever got it in play. I'm not sure. I can't remember. Overlord is another one. The 2/1s are pretty nice at preventing your opponent from flying into you with a giant lethal threat. But other than that, I don't really care about this, like, 6/6 that makes some 2/1s. It's like, what is it? Like Grave Titan? Yeah, it's like Grave Titan, where I probably wouldn't play Grave Titan. So I probably shouldn't play this. Giving the zombies flying doesn't push Overlord over a threshold that I'm satisfied with. And I never impend it, right? Because turn 4 is like, or 4-mana turn is always this. So there's probably a better card than Overlord. Rather significantly, I would say. So maybe I actually don't even want to upload it with that in the list. Grenzo was definitely MVP. Herald and Platinum Angel in some games, not the games we actually got it in play, but these are really good. I think you can just auto win against Tifa, right? What are they gonna do? They're not gonna. You can go to -500. It doesn't matter. So there are some matchups where these are viable. You can also reanimate them repeatedly, right? If your opponent's like, haha, I've killed it, now I'm going to kill you, and it's like, oh, I'll just get it back. Sometimes you might not let it be in the graveyard for them to reanimate until the turn you're swinging for lethal, so, you know, they kill it in the same turn you die. Valgavoth was slightly more impressive than I give it credit for this time. I didn't go for this as much as I should have. I wasn't respecting what this could do enough. But it's still no Gristlebrand, unfortunately. Well, someone earlier was saying Vivi's a huge problem. And they found one person who killed it twice, and the rest didn't interact at all. Yeah, if you just played like 20 games in a row where your opponent didn't interact with Vivi, it's like, oh, look how good it was. Yeah, because your opponent didn't do anything. You have an opponent to play against. Yeah, that's true as well. Really funny to avoid when we're in a matchup against Garuda? Would it? Oh yeah, assuming they haven't cast it yet, you would just win automatically, right? Isn't that like... It's like Iona naming an entire player. I mean, it's an instant, but it's also, what is that, 8 mana? 7 mana still? But yeah, it's an instant, I guess. But it's still 7 mana. Like, I don't know. It's also white, so it goes in only one color. Like, this goes in every deck ever. I don't think it replaces it. I think if you like this card, you probably like both in the same deck. I would say that. If you have only one slot for that thing, this is a direct upgrade for white players, which is really cool. I like that. I think white having access to like this at Flash is really... It makes it interesting. But that's not what we care about in this deck specifically. Let me find a card to add. I don't know what kind of... I want a good reanimate target. I feel like there's maybe a couple that I haven't... Let's look at the ones we just don't own. What about that? What about that? Yep, GG's. I'm done anyways. I'm just doing my outro. Oh yeah, Olivia. Olivia's a pretty solid one. It is kind of sketchy because you do have to get to combat. So that is sketchy. Sometimes you reanimate it and you try to get another creature and then they just kill this. This also doesn't do anything as your one and only reanimate target if you only have one card to reanimate in a given matchup. Like, oh, my hand has one creature, I discarded it, I wheeled up a bunch of other cards. If this was your only hit, you're going to feel kind of sad because all the other ones are actually really good on their own. I think the card you reanimate has to effectively be good on its own. Otherwise, I don't think it's a good idea. Can you reanimate these? Like, legitimately? You can reanimate these? I did not know that. I did not know that. This is completely perfect for this deck, then. I mean, this is like Ashen Rider on steroids. I didn't know that. I'm upset I didn't play with it. Dang. This one's... What about this one? Okay, upfront destroy. Creatures... It's okay. It's okay. It's not that exciting, though. Create 3 2/2s, and you do that a ton of times, which I don't think this deck cares about, especially with board wipes. I'm not sure I'm sold on that, but maybe it's fine. Maybe this is okay. It is definitely very interesting. I would argue this is probably better than some other random creature I had in here. So, like, what else? What is that better than? Probably Shieldred. It sucks to take out Shieldred. I really can't... I can't bring myself to take it out. You know what I'm going to take out? Is the Crocodile. I don't think the Crocodile is good. Even cycling it, so I was never impressed with it. There was not really many games I'd wanted in play. It's honestly not even good against Tifa, and Tifa has 2 toughness, and I still wouldn't want it there. I would still probably always prefer Elish Norn as that kind of thing, right? I already have that kind of effect. I don't think I need the Crocodile, so... I don't really care about the 5-mana one, because I found that I was not actually filling my graveyard enough to flip it, and then I would rather that Shieldred just be a scarier card. If I could flip it consistently, I like the Shieldred, but I can't. That's why I took out Croxa. Took this card out because I wasn't flipping, or I was never finding enough cards in the graveyard in any one game consistently to actually get a creature out of my graveyard with Escape. I was never finding this to be useful, even with all the fetch lands and stuff. I thought it would, you know, but it just didn't end up happening. I'm sure with enough games, maybe there's just windows where it was happening, but we didn't find them. And I would like the 7-mana one more than the 5-mana one. If I had to choose between the two for this specific deck. Okay, I think that's it. think we're done. Yeah, I like this. So hopefully I rambled enough about my thoughts. I don't know. It was all over the place. I don't normally talk to chat in the outro, but I did this time. But you're not too enticed with Ulamog? Yeah. There's no cast trigger. I still like the ability to swing just 4 times and then they just die. This can also hit randomly a very crucial card that your opponent might want, like River's Rebuke or something. But there's definitely more interesting cards than this. There's definitely more interesting cards than Ulamog. But I thought I'd try it. I wasn't upset with Ulamog. It's not a good reanimate target because it is 10 mana, and it's not showing up with a very impactful ability. But I don't know. You know, it's fun to reanimate Ulamog. It's definitely not the worst of these cards, I would argue. Maybe the second Platinum Angel is slightly worse than the Ulamog, but it doesn't have to be in there. The sky's the limit. Whatever you like to do, you could just put in the reanimate area and be like, hey, this is great. I was just trying to do what I think is the most efficient in, like, the best things, and maybe this isn't one of them. But you could make that argument with pretty much all of these for just, oh, I like these commanders, I like to be good against this, I like to be good against this, I don't care if this matchup is slightly worse. Like, it's really up to the individual. Reanimate kind of lets you reanimate whatever. If your opponent doesn't answer it, you just sort of win, right? But it's got indestructible. So, alright, that's all I've got. So, can recommend. This is a very solid reanimate strategy. I am a fan of it. I'll probably play more of this. Definitely different versions, like the combo one and whatnot. But, yep, let me know what you thought about it. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.